The Dallas Cowboys season could be over before it even really got the chance to begin this year. Coming into the season, many believed that the Cowboys would be in tight competition with the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East division. Even if Dallas was unable to win their division, many believed that they would have no issues snagging one of the 3 wildcard spots for a playoff position. However, after Week 1, it appears that the playoffs may be out of the question. Quarterback Dak Prescott suffered an injury in his throwing hand against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that will keep him sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks. With Cooper Rush set to be the team's starting quarterback in Week 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals, there's little hope for the Cowboys. While they may look for a quarterback to fill in via a trade or free agency, it likely will not be enough for Dallas to still be able to make a big enough push for the playoffs once Prescott returns. With Dak set to miss out about half of the season this year, it will be the second time in 3 years that he missed a substantial portion of the season due to injury. Pairing this with a drop-off in his play, many have overlooked the fact that Dak Prescott is a bit overrated and he may not be the long-term answer in Dallas. Today we'll break down if Prescott is truly overrated and if these injuries are beginning to impact his level of play on the field. Dak Prescott's Week 1 injury. As previously mentioned, Dak Prescott suffered a very serious injury to his throwing hand in the Dallas Cowboys Week 1 matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His broken right thumb will keep him sidelined for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Prescott and the passing game were expected to be the focal point of the Cowboys season, and without Dak on the field, there's little to no hope for the passing attack of Dallas. As a result of this, players like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup will likely not be seeing nearly many as targets as they would with Prescott under center. The weight of the offense will be placed upon the shoulders of Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard to create an elite run game in Dallas to keep the team afloat. Prescott's performance in Week 1. Prior to his injury in Week 1, Prescott was able to play a majority of the game. During his time on the field, he did not look nearly as good as he did last season. While he was playing against the very talented Tampa Bay defense, Dak put up much better numbers against the same team in Dallas' season opener last season. This year, he finished the game throwing for 134 yards and an interception with a completion percentage of 48.3%. Last season, he threw for 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Along with this, he fumbled once and had a completion percentage of 72.4%. This is a major drop-off playing against almost the exact same defense as the prior year. While the Cowboys lost Amari Cooper over the offseason, this should not have made much of an effect on the offense to cause such a major drop-off in Prescott's passing numbers. Although he still has not shown a major change in turnovers and is still making solid reads, his completion percentage tanked, and it's clear that he's just missing receivers. When Dak makes his return this season, it's essential that he's fully recovered. The last thing that he needs to do is rush back onto the field and play even worse than he did in the season opener. With the injury occurring in his throwing hand, it makes it even more important that this injury is taken seriously and the recovery process is not rushed. Could he be overrated? Many believe that Prescott is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and when he's playing at his best, some think he has MVP potential. While Prescott is a great quarterback, he is still not even arguably a top 10 quarterback. As shocking as this may sound, we're entering a second golden era of quarterbacks, and he's still a quarterback that many teams would love to have as their starter. However, he is currently being paid as the 7th highest quarterback in the NFL, and his talent level does not equate to that. With Prescott being the star quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, he naturally will get more media attention than he would on any other team. As he is one of the most frequently talked about players in the league, he naturally becomes overrated. This is something that happens in almost any sport. Despite the media attention that he receives, his level of play does not particularly call for all of the coverage that he receives. Although Dak is a very talented player, he is still a fringe top 10 quarterback in the league. Are his injuries beginning to hinder his value? This thumb injury will be the second major injury that Prescott has suffered in the past 3 seasons. Assuming he will miss 6 to 8 weeks with this most recent injury, he will miss half of the last 3 full seasons. Although he has played well when he has been on the field, his availability is beginning to have an effect on his value as a player. While this is something that is out of his control, injuries and availability are something that have to be taken into account when putting together top 10 lists and even when players are given contract extensions. Prescott proved that this was not always that case, as he signed a record deal while injured. Despite this, with another serious injury occurring in such a short amount of time, the question has to be asked if he's becoming injury-prone. He has spent the past 7 years in the NFL and has taken an unknown amount of hits even before he became a professional. With all of that mileage and all of those hits taken, they eventually begin to take a toll on the body and can eventually affect the level of play that a player can achieve. The Cowboys have not done an incredible job of maintaining the quality of their offensive line over the course of Dak's career. Coming into the league as a rookie starter, the Cowboys had one of the best offensive lines in the league. Over the past few years, the offensive line play has taken a steep decline as players have begun to retire or move on to new teams. With so many players at skill positions looking for big contract extensions, the Cowboys have struggled to find the room for high-level offensive linemen in their cap situation. Improving the offensive line as Prescott continues his career should be near the top of the to-do list for the Cowboys front office. The past 3 seasons have shown us that Dak is not as durable as he once was and is beginning to show some age. This is something that is perfectly natural out of a 7-year starter in the NFL. However, before these injuries begin to majorly impact his level of play, they must bring in or draft some players to protect him. As he continues to age, the likelihood of serious or even career-ending injuries continue to rise. With Prescott being the face of the franchise on the offense for the Cowboys, they will want to keep him around and having him play at high level for as long as they can. However, injuries have already begun to have a small effect on his play, and it's something that has been severely overlooked. And that is how we're going to end today's video. So what do you think about Dak Prescott? Do you think he's overrated? Are there any other NFL players you would like us to cover? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you're a fan of the NFL. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Until next time.